Today we're going to talk about how to easily don and doff your foot shell. It can be a little bit tricky, but with a little bit of muscle and these tips, I think it'll make it a lot easier to do. So first, let's take a look at the inside of the foot shell to help you better understand how its construction comes into play with the actual donning and doffing. So what I have here is a cut in half foot shell. What I'm using this to do is to illustrate that the lip that holds the foot in place is much thicker at the most posterior aspect, and it thins out. You see how that lip gets thinner as you move forward towards the ankles in an anterior direction? That's why it's easier to roll the foot into that area first than it is to just try and stretch that huge lip out and off the foot. Think of it as like putting a chain on a bike. You have to start it and then walk it on, and to remove it you have to take part off and reverse it off. Now that we're ready to try putting the foot shell on, the first thing I'm going to say is use a Spectra Sock. Obviously we always use these because they protect the foot. They also help reduce friction as you are sliding that shell into place. So you see here, I'm going to put this thing toes down and slide the toe section in, and then I'm actually going to turn both the foot and the foot shell in towards me as I press down. At the same time, I'm going to be squeezing the heel. You notice that as I squeeze that heel, this trim line is going to sort of rise up, and that'll let me get it up over this round part and slide it in place, just like this. Toes down, turn them in, squeeze, push and wiggle. Now you can see that the heel section has cleared the trim line, and so from here all you have to do is get some leverage, attach a pylon if you need to, but a little bit of downward pressure will help it slide down underneath that lip and engage it, and it'll hold it in place. Listen for the pop, that's when you know you're there. Voila! It has now dropped all the way down, and that lip has bit right over the top of the heel section, and now it's on and it's not going to go anywhere. Now let's talk about doffing, or removing the foot shell. Again, this is fairly easy to do. Now the key is you don't want to grab the most posterior aspect and just pull straight back, because that lip is thickest right there, and when you're pulling back it's actually causing the sides to bite in and hold it even tighter. So what I recommend doing is, instead of coming here, roll yourself towards the ankle just a little bit and pull that way so that the thin area of the lip disengages, and then it walks itself off in reverse. So this does take a little muscle. Excuse me and bear with me while I brace myself and pull. But as long as I brace right about there and pull, that's it. It disengages itself very easily. The foot shell is now off. So there you have it, how to don and doff your foot shell easily without tools or any other headaches. So thanks for tuning in. Rush Life.